They didn't just ask me to let my brother's family live in my house. They decided it without even telling me. My own parents sat at the dinner table, smiling, and said, "Lyra, your brother and his wife will be moving into your house next month. You don't need all that space anyway." My heart dropped. My house wasn't some gift they gave me. It was the one thing I built from scratch, the proof of years of silent struggle when no one believed in me. And yet, they looked at me like I had no right to say no. If you want to see how this story turns into the biggest twist of Lyra's life, make sure you like this video, subscribe, and share so you don't miss what happens next. I tried to smile, but inside, anger was boiling. My brother leaned back in his chair with that smug look as if he already owned my home. His wife smirked and whispered, "Finally, we'll have a proper place to live." My parents didn't even glance at me for approval. They treated me like a nobody, like a weak girl who could never fight back. But they had no idea what I was really holding back. Lyra may have stayed silent for years, but this time, silence would end with a storm. I clenched my fists under the table, forcing myself not to explode. My father's voice cut through the silence, cold and sharp. "Lyra, don't act selfish. Your brother has a family now. You're alone. What use is a big house to a girl like you?" My mother nodded, adding, "We sacrificed everything for you, and now it's your turn to sacrifice for family." Those words stabbed me. Sacrifice? Where were they when I worked nights, crying myself to sleep while building my small business? From nothing? Where were they when I begged for support and they laughed, saying I'd fail? My brother leaned forward, smirking. "You should be grateful, Lyra. We'll take care of the place for you. Think of it as doing you a favor." His wife chuckled. "Yeah, you don't need to stress about it. We'll live there and handle things." Handle things? My house wasn't some charity project for them. It was mine, brick by brick, earned, with sweat and tears. I finally spoke, my voice low but steady. "No, you are not moving into my house." The entire table froze. My father slammed his hand on the table, making the glasses shake. "How dare you talk back? After everything we've done for you?" His tone wasn't just anger. It was humiliation, like I had publicly shamed him. My mother's face twisted with disappointment. "You've become arrogant, Lyra. Money has made you ungrateful." But I couldn't stop now. My chest was burning, my hands shaking, but I looked straight at them and said, "Ungrateful? Do you remember the nights I went hungry just to save rent money? Do you remember mocking me when I said I'd start a business, calling it a joke? That house is not your sacrifice. It's my blood, my struggle, my life." My brother scoffed, rolling his eyes. "Oh, please, stop acting like you're some hero. You just got lucky. Without us, you're nothing. And soon, you'll come begging for our help." He laughed, and his wife joined in, their voices like nails scratching my skin. Inside, I wanted to scream, to tell them the truth, that the house was just a small piece of what I had built, that the empire I had created in silence was beyond their imagination, but I bit my tongue. Not yet. Let them laugh. Let them believe I was weak. Because when the truth came out, their laughter would turn into shock they'd never forget. As the night ended, I excused myself quietly. My father muttered, "We'll talk about this again, Lyra. Don't forget, you're still our daughter. We make the decisions here." But walking away, I knew something had shifted. For the first time in years, I wasn't their pawn anymore. They had no idea what storm was coming. The next morning, I woke up to dozens of missed calls and angry messages from my mother. Each one was worse than the last. "How dare you disrespect your father? You embarrassed us in front of your brother's family. We will not tolerate this behavior." But the one message that broke me wasn't from her. It was from my father. Short, sharp, and cruel. If you don't hand over the house, don't bother calling yourself my daughter anymore. I sat there staring at the screen, my hands trembling. For years I had tried to earn their love, tried to prove that I was worthy. Every little achievement, every milestone, I hoped it would make them proud. But nothing was ever enough. My brother was always the golden child. And me? I was just the outsider, the burden. By evening, they showed up at my house without warning. My father barged in as if he owned the place, my mother trailing behind him, while my brother and his wife carried bags as if they had already moved in. "What are you doing here?" I asked, my voice shaking with anger. My father glared at me. "We don't need your permission, Lyra. This house belongs to the family. And as head of this family, I've decided your brother will live here. You can stay too if you behave." Behave. That single word made my blood boil. My brother dropped his bags on the floor and smirked. "Don't worry, sis. We'll make this place lively again. You've been wasting it all these years." His wife added with a mocking smile. "Besides, it's too big for someone like you. You must get so lonely." I could feel my chest tightening, my heart pounding. They were invading my space, my home, everything I had worked for. But instead of shouting, I took a deep breath and forced a smile. "All right," I said softly, almost whispering. "If you want to stay here, then stay. But just remember one thing." They all looked at me, confused. My father narrowed his eyes. "What's that supposed to mean?" I stepped closer, my voice calm but sharp enough to cut through the room. "You think this is the only house I own? You think this is my entire life's worth? Keep living in your little bubble, because very soon, that bubble is going to burst." Their laughter filled the room again. My father scoffed. "Empty threats. You'll never change, Lyra. Still the same weak girl pretending to be strong." But inside me, something was burning brighter than ever. They still didn't know. They had no idea about the empire I had built in silence. And when the right moment came, the shock on their faces would be worth every scar they had given me. That night, as they unpacked their bags in my living room, I went upstairs, locked my door, and opened my laptop. My empire, the $1 million business, the penthouse, the luxury properties, everything was waiting. And soon, they would see it all. The next few days felt like living in a nightmare. My own house didn't feel like mine anymore. My brother's. Kids ran around breaking things. His wife complained about every little detail, and my parents treated me like a servant inside my own home. "Lyra, go get groceries. You're not doing anything useful anyway." "Lyra, don't use that bedroom. It's better if your brother and his wife stay there." "Lyra, lower your tone. You're being disrespectful." Every word was like a knife, cutting deeper into wounds that had never healed. They thought I was powerless, that I would just bow down like always. One evening, when I came back from work, I found them all sitting in my living room, going through my mail, my papers, my private life. My father held up an envelope and said with disgust, "Bills, bills, bills. Is this all you can manage? You're a failure, Lyra. You'll never amount to anything." My brother smirked, sipping from a glass of wine he had poured without asking. "You should be grateful we're here. Without us, you'd rot alone in this place." I felt my hands shake, but instead of crying like they expected, I smiled. "You really think you know everything about me, don't you?" My father slammed the table. "Don't play games. We know exactly what you are. Weak, ordinary, nothing without this house." That's when I leaned closer, lowering my voice so they had to pay attention. "Then let's see how you survive. When you realize this house doesn't even belong to you." The room fell silent. My brother frowned. "What are you talking about?" I pulled out a keycard from my bag, placed it on the table, and let it sit there. "This is the access card to my penthouse. 30 floors up, overlooking the entire city, paid in full, and guess what? I didn't just buy one property. I bought 5. My mother's eyes widened, her face draining of color. My brother laughed nervously, trying to brush it off. "Stop lying, Lyra. You don't have that kind of money." I opened my phone and slid it across the table. On the screen were numbers they couldn't even dream of. Millions stacked in my accounts, contracts with companies, proof of the empire I had built while they called me useless. My father's hand trembled as he tried to grab the phone, but I pulled it back. "No, you don't get to see it all. You don't deserve to. For years you treated me like dirt. You mocked me, crushed me, used me. And now you expect me to just hand over my life's work? Not anymore." Their faces froze, shock, fear, and disbelief all at once. My brother's wife dropped her glass, shattering it on the floor. I stood up, towering over them for the first time in my life. "Pack your bags, tonight, because tomorrow morning, this house will have security at the door, and you won't be allowed anywhere near it." The night was heavy with silence as they scrambled to gather their things. For the first time, the roles were reversed. They were the ones trembling, not me. My brother tried to protest. "Lyra, you can't do this. We're family." I looked at him, my voice steady. "Family? Real family doesn't break you down, doesn't mock your every step, doesn't treat you like a stranger in your own home. You stopped being my family the moment you chose cruelty over love." My mother's eyes filled with tears. "Lyra, please. You're misunderstanding. We only wanted the best for you." I almost laughed, the sound bitter. "The best for me? Or the best for you? You never wanted to see me succeed. You only wanted to control me, use me. But that ends today." Security arrived at the door, waiting for my signal. I stepped aside, pointing toward the exit. "Leave. Tonight. Don't make me say it again." My father tried one last time, his pride broken. "You'll regret this, Lyra. You can't survive without us." I met his eyes, finally free from the fear that once chained me. "No, Father. I survived because of you. Every insult, every humiliation, every rejection. It all made me stronger. And now, I'll live the life you never believed I could." They walked out, defeated, their shadows shrinking into the night. I closed the door behind them, my heart pounding, but not from fear, from victory. For the first time in my life, I felt weightless. Standing in my living room, I whispered to myself, "This is just the beginning.